All right. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me do this. My computer is gonna be slow now. It's I can hear the fan. It's overheating. But anyway, let's continue. Then since we did Firebase last year, we integrated Firebase in our applications. So that won't be a challenge since we already know that. But if you did forget how to integrate Firebase to your application, you can still go to our YouTube channel and check those videos, and then or maybe you can ask your colleagues. Like we are colleagues, and then we help each other, and then they can help you, assist you, and then you can understand from there. So what I'm gonna do, okay, this is okay. I'm opening my Firebase cloud. This is my Firebase. So what I did, remember the first thing to do is to create an account on Firebase. Then from there create a project. Then after creating a project, then you can get your credential, your authentication, like those information that you need to connect to your cloud. Then after that, what do you need now? Since we're dealing with authentication, that means we're gonna go to authentication tab, and then we click on authentication. Then from there you can see users that I was testing it, and then we managed to register one user here. Then we can go to sign up. So on the sign up tab, that's where like you enable the method that you want your users to log in or to register using that method. So meaning now we want the user to register using what? Email and password. Email and password. So this is the method that we want the users to do. And then you can go to enable this method, then you can save. Then from there you can go to another method. Another method is where like you can see those applications. When you go to online, you can see like the application they require you to log in using your Facebook, using your Google account, or using any account, any third-party library account. Like third-party libraries, I'm referring to Facebook, Game Center, GitHub, or Yahoo or Microsoft account, or maybe anonymous, something like that. You want your users to just pass through your application without being recognized, something like that. So yeah, so this is how you enable them. If you want your users to use Google, you go to enable Google. You go to just click on Google and then enable. Then here it will ask you the email. Then you enter the email, your email account here. So this email account, I think it's used for like generating like how many users you have, something like that. So yeah. Then if you want Facebook, your users to use Facebook, then you can see it requires the app ID, app secret. So that means this one I think you must go to Facebook and register first. Then you can get access to this to required field. So therefore, this is how you do you enable your signing in methods. And then we can go to template. That's where you can write like where users they forgot their password, where you want your users to verify their account after registering on your application. Then that's the emails, that's the template that you can use. You can go and write any message that you want here. Go to edit and write the message that you want, and then you can even change this anything that you want to change, you can go and change and write anything that you want, and then but this link, make sure it's there, like that's the link that they're gonna click, and then they can verify their account, and then you can again edit this, be able to edit this one, where the users, like when they want to reset their password, when they click reset password, then they enter their email account, then they can receive this kind of a message that you want. So these are the things like email address change, SMT settings. This one, they will require you to understand the networking part, where you have to do the TCP IP, which is part of the SMT. So the SMT, which falls under the TCP IP, and then where you will have to get the host. Maybe you want to use your own host, like you have a server somewhere sitting where it can issue the email addresses, then that's where you can input your email address and the host address, SMT, and even the port where your SMT is sitting. So this one, it requires you to understand them like more into the networking side. So yes, something like that. So SMS verification after the user, when they registered, so you can send them an SMS like, okay, since you guys, you don't have like maybe you like, old people, like they refer, like they want to go to internet cafe to access their emails and check if someone sent them an email. So like, to avoid that, you can just use SMS verification, then they can receive an SMS on their phone, then they can just see the verification code, then they can use that verification code and enter it on the application, then they can be verified. But for me, I think the simplest way is the email verification, where you just receive an email, then you just tap on the link once, tap in on the link, then it verifies you, which you are done. And then yeah, so yes, so let's go on to our app. So I'm still using the apps that I was using last year. This is the app that I was using last year. The one that I generated with you is the one that we did together. So it's the one that we did when we were adding users to the database, deleting users, something like that. So first of all, what you need to do, every time, like when you have to use a new module or a new function of the Firebase, you need to edit on the app module. So what I did, I went and added the FireAuth module in my app module, so that I can be able to use the authentication method. And then therefore I went to and import it inside the NG module. So I did import it here. So you need this part. So we already know this part here, where you have to have Firestore module, Fire module, something like that. So these ones we already know. Then the environment, environment, that's where you put your credentials, your Firebase credentials inside. So yeah, something like that. And then from there we can create a service. We know how to create a service, like we did last year. Let me create a new node here. So we know we can go to ng generate a service, and then we create a path, maybe it's a folder, services. Then you can create a service, you can call it Auth, whatever that you want to call it. So this service is gonna run across your application, which is a background service that is gonna run across your service. Whatever you need to use it, you just call it wherever anytime. That's how it works. So from there, what I did after that, I went to import the Firebase Auth. So this is the Firebase Auth. So this we don't need. This is the Firebase Auth. So I went and import it inside our services, so we can be able to use those functions. So let's go back and check. I did open it. Where is it? I did run the application. This is the application. You can see it's loading. You can see this is the thing that we did last year, where we added users. You can go here and say add, then you add someone. You see, this is the application that we did last year together. So It's not like I'm doing something new. I'm continuing from where we left. So I'm gonna stretch it. So we can go to console, so we can see errors. Like if we have any errors, it can show us here. So we can go to, now what we can do is go and add a method where we want a user to log in using email and password, where we can, like, first of all we can create, we register a user. So we can go and then create a function. We can go register. So register, so this is the function that is gonna register new users in our database. So we can go to like I already initiated our Angular FireAuth inside our constructor. So we know whenever that we want to use, we must first initialize it inside our constructor, then we can be able to use it across the application. So then we can go to, we can say fire, since we have that FireAuth, then immediately I say dot, you can see it shows me the functions that I can use. I can use sign in with the pop-up. I can use sign in with redirect or sign out. There's a sign out. If you want to have a sign out, like, you can just create a sign out, or you can update current user, anything that you want to use. You can see sign in with phone number, sign in with email link, sign in with email and password, sign in with custom token, sign in with credentials, sign in anonymously. Those are those things that I was showing you on the Google, on the Firebase sign in method. Sign in and retrieve SIM. So you can use this thing. You can send sign in email link to, like, something like that. So you just choose whatever that you need to do with it. So what we need currently, we want to create a user with email and password. So we click. So we know that this thing, like, it says create user with email and password. So meaning, like, it already tells us that this function, it requires 2 arguments. You can see now it says it expects 2 arguments. So meaning it requires email and password. So I'm just gonna go and write email.com, then comma, then now it requires password. So I'm gonna write Tyson and 192. So this is what is required. So as easy as that. Then from there I can just write dot. So immediately I write dot, it shows me the other function that I can use is either I can use cache or finally or then. So we use then. So then is the one that is going to show us the result after. If this line is success, and we're going to get a message saying successfully registered a user, something like that. So we're going to create then create an anonymous function. Then we open brackets, then we can go and console successfully registered user. Then you can close it, you can choose not to close it. So I don't close them. Then now we want to catch the errors. We want to catch the errors. If something happens, then we know, okay, there's an error somewhere. Like, we can just write error, then write arrow function, then say console.log, then you can say something like error, then you can say comma error dot message, something like that, dot message. You can even go ahead and say console, another console.log, then you can say error dot code. So it's gonna give us an error code and even an error message. So this you can do. So after here, if you want to, you can go here. If this line is successful, like you are successfully managed to register the user, you can redirect the user to a new page where it can show them like where you want to maybe verify user by code, or maybe email. Then you can just show a message that please go and check your email to verify your email, to verify your account, something like that. So this is where you can input that redirect, which is router. The router we did it last year together, where you can just redirect, which is router.navigate. Then you write the page name inside it, something like that. So this I'm gonna go here, and then let me check if you guys are still online. Okay, I'm still here. I was just checking if I'm still with you guys, because last year, you remember, I was going on and off, and then I was talking alone. So yes, we are still together. Then this function, we're gonna call it, remember here, you're not limited to input this only. You can always go and pass the parameters here. You can pass the parameter email. You can pass the parameters here, email, and then you can pass the password. You can always do this, so you don't have to like manually write your emails and this. So you know how to pass this thing, and then you know how to use the forms. So I'm not gonna go through and show you this thing. I'm just gonna show you how to register a user using create user with email and password. So if you want to pass something, like you can see, this is the things that we did last year, where we delete a person, we were passing the reference which was a user ID. So we were passing a user ID, then deleted it from the database. So meaning here, even here is the same. We are passing what? Email and password, meaning our function, when we call it, is going to require two arguments. Don't add one argument, because it's going to give you an error, or three arguments. It only requires two arguments, which is the email and password. So when you call it, just input the email and password. Then you can go ahead and write them inside here. Remove this, then you write your email, then you remove this, then you write your password. So this is how you can achieve this if you want to use a form like the one that we have here. You remember, we have a form here. We have this form. So these two things, we're gonna pass them to that function, and then passing them is simple, as we all know how to do the form, how to use the form module. So yes, so now I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna go to app component. So on our app component, we already imported our service. So our service, we already imported it with this database service. So if you can go here and check, we go to console, there's nothing here, we're gonna go to we check here, we still only have Tyson mlab, something like that. So when I go back here, I want to call that function that we did, register user. So I'm gonna go here. So since we know the ng on it function is the one that runs automatically, it doesn't need you to go and run it manually, it just runs automatically. So we're gonna call the function from our service. Our service, we already know we have the service, and we already initiated our service. We already given it a new variable, which is it's a data, which data we know it contains the service. Anything that is inside the service, we can access it using the data. So we go here and say data dot, immediately I say dot, you can see it shows me like what is inside that service. You see what is inside the service class. So inside that class, we have the function add user, get users, register. So I think we did register. This is the function that we did. So you write the brackets there, then you close. So if we had like we want to pass like email and password, we're gonna go here and say email and then password. So we know we pass the email and password, something like this. So now, since our function doesn't require any argument, so we don't need this. That's why it shows us, it underlines it. So you're gonna see immediately I do this, I press save. So our is gonna recompile, and then it's gonna show us a message that we registered a user, successfully registered user. So you see, like that function, it automatically ran, and then we managed to register the user. So now I can go here and say we want to refresh. Now the user is being registered. You can see Tyson blah blah, and then the password has been encrypted. It automatically encrypted the password for you. So even when you log in, like it doesn't require you to do, but this one is a user ID, but the password is automatically encrypted, and it doesn't show the password here, which is something strange with Google. Okay, so let me continue. So, but if you have a question, please feel free to ask me a question. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a sign up where you sign up with email and password. Gonna sign up with email and password. So we can go and say login. So we can go say FireAuth dot sign in with email and password. Sign in with email and password. Sign in with email and password. So this is it, sign in with email and password. Then we know we're gonna pass. I'm gonna pass the same argument since it's the one that I registered on with. So I'm gonna pass them inside here, pass the argument, and then now we know what to do. We can so this one we know how to do it. So remember, if you want to write something, you can still write something. You can replace it. You can write results, something like the results. You see, but I choose to do the anonymous function. So console.log, then success fully logged in. So yes, then you can go catch. You can go and catch the error. Something went on, the error message.
Mr. President,
Yes.
you mentioned something about anonymous function. I needed to find out what that is.
Anonymous is a function that like we don't need it. It's not required to be given a name. Okay. So hence I'm just doing the brackets. Like I don't need, if I need to do something here, I can write something here, but now I don't need anything there. That's why like I'm saying. But if like you're coding for maybe a community, maybe you're not a programmer, you can just write something here so they can understand the results, or they can even use it if they want to use it. You can even use it here and then write results. Results. So now we managed to do this. Now we can call this function the same way we called this one inside our component.ts. So we're gonna put it inside where we know this function runs automatically. So dot, we have, this is login, and then so but if you want to pass this, you want to pass parameters, you don't want to manually write them down, you can still use the form. You can see we still have this form. You can pass these values inside here. You can just put this thing inside here and put it inside here again. Then we can just pass those parameters. So now we can go back and then where's that thing? So error, the email address is already in use. This is the function that runs like we already added this user. So that's why it will give us this message that the email the person is already in use. Remember that we already ran this function before. This function was ran before, so that means now it continues running using the same parameters. Hence we are getting this message that the email address is already in use by another account. So remember, like it does this thing for you, which is good. Like it checks if someone exists or not, so you can it saves you work from like too much coding, check where blah blah function, something like that. So it automatically checks these things for you. Then you can redirect the user to their account. So now the function that we just ran now it says successfully logged in. So it's the function that we just ran, which is this one. So it's the first time we ran it, so meaning that we managed to log in the user. So the user managed to log in. So now you can go ahead and then we can go and create login with Google. Let's log in with Google. Login with Google. So we log in with Google. We create a new we create a new variable. We can call it provider. You can call it whatever that you want, but I prefer to call it provider, which is a new. Then what I have auth dot Google Auth provider. Google Auth provider. So this is what you need. Then you are done. So now you can go and say you want to log in this user using Google. So you can go and say, okay, FireAuth dot sign in with pop-up. So immediately the user clicks on the button sign in with Google, or maybe that icon, it will pop up a window where you can sign in with Google, and you choose an account that you want to use. So we say, then we provide the provider that we did. So we did sign in with Google. So we input that provider inside here. Then we can go, then something like that. Then you can go and do whatever that you want. So we managed to do this, and then you can go console, log in with Google, catch, error dot message. So we are done. Then we can call this function inside our app component, but this one, it requires you to click something. We don't want it to automatically run because it's going to create some problems for us. So I'll create a button. I'll go here and then create a button, sign in with Google account. Sign in with Google account, and then we can create a button. Then we click event. Then we create a function name. Our function name can say sign in with Google. Sign in with Google. So our function doesn't receive any arguments, so we just leave it like it. Doesn't receive any parameters. So we can write sign up with sign in with Google. So we go here and call our function, then we can write it under here. So this function, remember, the function doesn't need to stay inside the ng on it, since if you put it inside here, remember this function runs automatically, so we don't want our function to run automatically, we want to click it. So we can go to say sign in, we can go and copy this function, copy, paste. Then now we can call that function that we did. We can go and call where's the function? We can go and call this login Google. We can go and call login Google. So we can say data dot login Google. Then we save. Then you can go and check. Let's wait for it to compile. Then now we have this. Can click here. You see it pops up the Google API. This is the API, Google sign in API. So you can sign in with Google. You can choose the account that you want to use. I can either choose this or this or this. Let's say, so I can choose this, say sign in. So we managed to log in with Google. So there's no stress, and if you want to sign up with Google, it's the same method. So we managed to sign in with Google. So you just choose an account that you want to sign in, so it recognizes it that you have an account. So even log out, you can go and do log out if you want. You can go and say log out. Then you know here we want to log out. Then we can call our Firebase dot sign out. This sign out. You see everything is being provided for you, but sign up, remember sign up, we don't need to have any credentials, we don't need to pass anything. So we just do this, and then we say then we know console.log successfully signed out. Then remember, always make sure you catch the error. It's important, otherwise you just see your things not working and then you will wonder what could be the problem. So we say console.log, then you pass error dot message. So this is how you sign up. Then we can go to sign out. So we can go to here and then we create another button. I'm just gonna copy this, copy, paste. Then I'm gonna say log out, So I'm gonna do something like this, which is log out. So I'm gonna go to components and then call that function, which is log out. Then our function doesn't receive any argument. Then we call the function logout from the services class dot logout. Then we are done. So I'm gonna go and say save all. Then all saved. Go here. Then let's wait for it to recompile. Then we have sign out, log out. Clear this. Then we click successfully sign out. So we managed to log out. So it automatically deleted our session. Our session has been deleted. And then from here, if you want, like when you are doing it on your own, on your application, like I said, you don't need to be using putting this here. You can still pass the parameters. And you can, after signing up the user, if you want to add more information inside the user, you can sign up, then grab the user ID, then match it with the database that you want to match it and add it inside our Fire store, which is where is it? So like this users, you grab this ID when they log in, you grab the ID, then you go and input it inside your Fire cloud store, your Fire store. So meaning like if you want to have like more information, like not only just email and password, you want to have like name, surname, ID, ID number, address, location, or maybe you want to have more information when the user after logging in, they can go and edit their 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 profile. So you can still do that when they successfully log in, and then you can manage that on your own. So this is how we do the auth. So it's simple and straightforward. So after you have done this, I'm gonna go and show you like do the auth guard, where like if the person didn't log out, like if I can go here and say and type the page name, the name that I want to access, and write something like this, then if that application opens that page for me without authorizing the user first, that means there's something wrong. Meaning I must add what? The guard. I must add something that's gonna guard those things. If you're not logged in, then you must be returned to the login page. So you cannot be able to access those other pages without being logged in first. So which is with the auth guard. So that one I'm gonna show you. Maybe tomorrow you can do it after you have done practicing this one, which is it's simple also, because it's that we just do 1 2 3 thing, then we are done. But the important part is for you to understand this sign up methods, where you can just sign up and then log out, sign up with Google, any method that you want to use. You can even send the email after the user, anything that you want to use, can go and reset the password. So this is what I want you guys to go and practice. Remember, first of all, you need to have a Google Firebase account, and then from there go to authentication, and then enable the method that you want to see. You see that Firebase, the Google sign in is there. It's already registered here. The pop-up managed to register in here. So it's simple as that. So if you need to go here and sign in method and enable the method that you want your users to register or sign in using. So this is the sign in providers. Like you see, these are the providers that you want to use: Microsoft, Apple. So these providers that you can use any day, anytime, any day you want. So any questions?
No question, sir.
No
question.
Oh, do you understand, guys? I don't want to leave you without understanding.
I think after doing it once, we will get the hang of it.
Yeah, because you need to try it first. Then but you can see, like, we already did the functions. We know how to do a function, how to call a function. So you can see, like, we initialize a new variable to the Firebase auth. So it gives us the opportunity to use whatever that is inside the Firebase auth, meaning like it's like a class. Like when we have a class and we initialize to a new variable, we say data dot, so it automatically output whatever that is inside that class. So the function that is inside that class, we're going to be able to utilize it the same as way we did with Firebase auth. So immediately I say dot, then it shows me sign up with, create, login, something like that. So it just shows me those options that I can just select from and use. So I'm gonna upload this video for you guys, then you can go and then okay, David. Okay. That one I'm gonna. I will tell you guys. Don't worry. I'm the one who's responsible for those things. When are we opening for new applications? Obviously, you are finishing on March, so I'm thinking April. So from March, I'm gonna take. I might take a leave, so I can, because I have many days I need to rest. So yeah, but I will definitely tell you guys as soon as uh, we I open applications, because I'm gonna open them around April. So yeah, around April they must be opened. Yeah, April or May. I'll just see, because I need to prepare myself first, prepare everything, since we are going to do React this year. We are not going to do Angular, which is TypeScript. We are going to do Ionic with React. So, but I will let you know, guys. Then you can tell whoever that is interested. So yeah, so I think we are done for today, guys. And then thank you so much for joining, and stay safe. Wear your mask, sanitize, stay home, practice, practice, practice. Ask your colleagues if you're having any issues, or ask myself. So I think it's Mkhali Ngwasheng who has a problem. But so please text me on WhatsApp and tell me about your problem regarding the laptop. Then I can talk to those guys in Pretoria. Then maybe they can assist us with one laptop or two laptops. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Yes, we'll meet each other tomorrow again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.